I finally stopped choosing the version of him I imagined and accepted the version of him who kept showing up. Welcome back to Sister Signs and Red Flags, the podcast where astrology ain't therapy, but girl, it's close. I'm your host, Lika, and if you're new here, hi, hello, and welcome to my show. Thank you so much for tuning in, and allow me a minute to say thank you to returning viewers or listeners as well.
Appreciate you coming through.
I appreciate y'all for being here because honestly, I need this community to help me work through the things I have been through with men like Steven, aka Mr. Situationship. So yeah, we're gonna talk about his ass again, and I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. This will not be the last time we discuss him because the history is long and it's fucking story. If you have watched my Mercury retrograde episode from last year, then you already heard some of this story and the part about Mercury not bringing a man back, but bringing back that mirror. But today we're talking about another aspect.
You see what I did there?
No pun intended at all of this relationship. This was indeed a situation where I stayed because I saw the potential of what it could be instead of who he really was. And as the great Maya Angelou said, girl, when someone shows you who they are, believe them the first motherfucking time. Okay? So yeah, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm. Ooh.
So me and Steven had already known each other for years before 2021. When I say years, think high school, on and off, in and out, right person, wrong time type shit, or at least that's what I used to tell myself. But in 2021, I had just left my second husband, and emotionally, I was open, I was vulnerable, maybe a little hopeful because I was ready for something that felt familiar. And I'm going to keep it real. Steven has always felt familiar to me. So I reached out to him, and I think I told a part of this, but anyway, it doesn't matter. I'm going to tell you again. So I reached out to him, or maybe technically I slid into his DMs and he called me and we talked like forever. It was one of those conversations where it feels like no time has passed at all. And like we just picked things back up right where they had left off. So we started sleeping together again around July of that same year. And very quickly, we slipped right back into relationship type behavior. And I'm going to say relationship type like this because we were never in an actual relationship. And I'm going to be for real. That's where the problem started because I'm going to be for real. Like, I love that man. I love that man. That man was like my man, my man, my man, my man, my baby. Like I was love a girl, Meg the Stallion on him like that for real. I think that's important to say because people love acting like women stay in situationships because they're dumb or desperate or lack some type of self-esteem, but no, that is not the case. Sometimes you stay because you genuinely believe in somebody, and sometimes you stay because you've known that person for years and because you've seen so many different versions of them and you know their story and you know their pain. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know who they could actually be. Like, you see all of that in them. So for me, Stephen always gave me just enough. It was just enough of affection and just enough reassurance and just enough hope and just enough vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? It was just enough to keep me emotionally invested in him, but it was never enough to truly move the relationship forward in any way. And when I say I made myself completely available to this man, girl, let me tell you, baby, y'all know it's a Trina thing with me, but I made myself available emotionally, financially, physically, mentally. He had me. I helped him file bankruptcy so he wouldn't lose his driver's license. I put him on my credit card to help him build his credit up. I traveled to Tennessee to pick him up when we both had COVID because apparently I was the one who got him sick. And instead of just resting, I was out there trying to nurse this man, this grown ass man, back to health while, I was feeling like death myself, honey. But I had to take care of my man, my baby.
Like a damn fool.
Even to where I drove with him to Maryland so that he could be there for his son during his son's sentencing hearing. Like, I helped him with money, trips, logistics, just all over life, baby. Just life. I helped that nigga with life, y'all. It was one time I actually found out like one of the trips that he had me helping him plan for something, booking stuff and all that. He actually had another woman going on that trip. Of course, he denied it, but there was proof. I would just leave it like that. And you know what? That honestly should have been enough right there, right? Like, you should have, like, girl, you were. That was enough, bitch. You ain't have enough, bitch. But no, girl, apparently I did not. Because when you love potential, you really become good at explaining shit away. Okay. I became an expert in giving niggas benefit of the doubt when they deserve the benefit of the doubt. Okay. So you start saying things like, well, maybe he's just scared, maybe he's overwhelmed with life, and maybe it's the timing, and maybe when things settle down. Like, this is all the little bullshit I used to tell myself, right? But the whole time, nothing ain't changing. Nothing. Nada. Not a damn thing. And we still in the same shit. So now when I look back at our charts, this relationship makes perfect sense astrologically. Like, of course it made sense, right? Because like Steven has heavy Taurus and Virgo energy. And y'all already know how my placements are because I done told y'all like a bunch of million times what they are. But I ain't hardly got no earth in my chart. But he had all the earth, okay? So he's a Taurus sun with a Taurus Mercury, a Virgo Mars, a Virgo Jupiter, and a Virgo Saturn. Yeah, I'm gonna let that sit with y'all. Baby, that is stubborn, routine, practical, and emotionally slow moving. He be having that this is just how I am energy. Cause he was like,
You act like you already don't know who I am. I've been the same way since you met me.
and nigga, you ain't tell the first lie, okay? But then there's me, cause we gonna tell you my energy, Gemini sun, Sagittarius moon, Pisces rising, Venus in Cancer, the curse. Baby, that Venus and Cancer, me and my cousin, we talk about all the time. It's a
You can't make this type of shit up.
but you know, so emotionally, I need reassurance, baby. I need some growth and movement. You know what I'm saying? I love emotional connection, right? And verbal intimacy. I'm one of them girls like, talk to me, baby. Tell me you love me. Tell me all the things. Tell me you love me. Tell me I'm beautiful. Like, I want to hear it. I don't even give a damn if you don't mean it. Like, I give a damn if you don't mean it, but for me, it's something about hearing it. It's like, ooh, that was that one. But meanwhile, the little earth that's in my chart, my little Taurus Mercury, loves familiarity, which means even when my spirit knew something wasn't growing anymore, because things weren't growing with me and Steven at all. Like, no, 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 no. My mind kept trying to hold on to the history. And then you got my little Venus in Cancer, Cancer Venus, however you want to say it. Because, baby, that Venus in Cancer, when I love, baby, your girl love. I nurture, I support, I be like them niggas' biggest cheerleaders. And I attach myself emotionally in a way that is ungodly, which absolutely explains this next part perfectly, okay? So, like, I gotta tell y'all about this tattoo because, yes, honey, I got this man's name tattooed on my body, on my shoulder blade, on my back, okay? And I'm gonna keep it a bug. I know some of y'all already judging your girl, but it wasn't nothing like, oh, you just went and got that because you obsessed with him and da 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 da. No, like, no, 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 no. That tattoo was never about me being impulsive. It was surely enough about devotion because years before I ever actually got it, I told him I made a promise to him that I would. So after we reconnected, that's what I went and did. A little butterfly tattoo, and I ain't gonna lie to you, it's cute. But to me, that tattoo, like, it meant like I'm serious about about you. I ain't finna play in your face. I'm here. I'm here for you. I'm not leaving. Like, this is real. This is, you know what I'm saying? It was just me fulfilling that promise, right? And I'm not gonna lie to you, I did not have the tattoo removed at all, but the meaning of it has changed, you know what I'm saying? Because now when I look at it, I be like, I don't see the heartbreak. Like, I'm like, ugh, I got this nigga name on me. Like, I don't see that. Like, I see that as the version of myself that just really loved him very deeply and loved him very honestly and meant every word that she said about him. You know what I'm saying? And despite everything, I don't regret that part. That tattoo reminds me. With Steven, it wasn't that he never said nice things, because sometimes he did, you know. That's what made this relationship even much harder to leave. Like I said, he would just give just enough, right? Like every once in a while, he would say like exactly what I needed to hear. And it was enough to try to keep hope alive. But eventually, I started realizing something. Within that, I was always constantly explaining my emotional needs to somebody who just did not naturally show up that way. Like, I would always tell this nigga, this is what I need from you. Maybe I'm not communicating this. Maybe I'm not. So let me try this again. So like, I remember literally texting him and telling this man, I just asked for two fucking things. Spend time with me and tell me you love me every once in a while. Like, that's the only thing. And then like reading that back now, that shit, it breaks my heart a little bit, because I'm negotiating for basic emotional care. I was trying to convince somebody that loving me properly wasn't too much work. And I kept shrinking my needs down to a point where it's like, is this reasonable enough to deserve? So to be real, I just loved his potential more than I accepted the reality of him. But I'm gonna tell y'all, the moment everything finally changed for me was when things went down with my dad. And I think I mentioned this in my Mercury retrograde episode as well, but this was like that turning point for me. And I think it's very critical and important, because when they told us that my daddy was in the hospital and he was dying and we needed to transition him to like hospice care, baby, I was devastated. And so I reached out to Steven, because all of the things that we had been through all these years, you know, I still believe when it really mattered, he would be there for me. And initially, I'm gonna say he was. He responded. He said, "Whatever you need, I got you." Okay, you got me, right? And I believed him. But then when I actually really needed him, baby, the man, nothing. Crickets, silence.
It's like I didn't exist anymore.
My calls weren't answered. My texts were not answered. And I'm out here apologizing to him while my daddy is possibly dying. I'm telling this man, if you don't want to be bothered with me, I understand. Girl, what? Yes. Yes. That's what I was telling him. And I'm like, no, Lika. No, because that was the moment. Like, it wasn't about the inconsistency or having an undefined relationship and a disappearing act. I can't even say he was cheating. We weren't even in a relationship for me to be able to say that. It was realizing that in one of the worst moments of my life, I still could not fully rely on him emotionally. Baby, that broke me. That completely changed how I looked at him, because that was the first time I really saw Steven as clear as 2020 vision, and not the version that I imagined, honey. Not the version of him with potential. Not the Steven I hoped he would eventually become.
Just making stuff up.
But him exactly as he was, right in front of me. And the truth is, familiarity and history can make you tolerate things longer than you should. That be that trap, because eventually loyalty starts turning into self-abandonment. That's what I said. Say it again. Amen to the people in the back. Loyalty starts turning into self abandonment. And I know, because I abandoned myself in this relationship a lot. I minimized my needs and over explained myself. I accepted his little funky ass breadcrumbs. I carried emotional weight that was never meant for me to carry alone. And one day I finally got tired. Baby, I said, shit, I'm tired of being disillusioned and delusional. Tired of trying to emotionally expand something that had stopped growing a long time ago. A bitch was tired. And eventually, baby, the devil I knew became somebody I didn't even want anymore. But I know I'm not the only person who has done this. Stayed too long because the history was deep, because the chemistry was there, and that connection felt real familiar. And every once in a while, they gave you just enough, to make you think like maybe this time. But the whole time, nothing was changing. So, with that being said, y'all, I genuinely want to know, have y'all ever been in a relationship or a situationship where you were more in love with the potential than the reality? I want to also know, when did you finally realize, Sam, I keep falling in love with who this person could be instead of who they actually are? And if you're still in that situation right now, well, I'm going to just say maybe this episode is your mirror, because love should not require you to abandon yourself emotionally just to keep the connection alive. And your girl had to learn that shit the hard way. So don't get me wrong, y'all. Fuck Steven. But hey, growth. Thank you for growth. Thank you. Thank you. I grew. But I'm gonna be for real. Like, I don't even tell this story from a place of anger anymore. I tell it because I finally understand the lesson behind the story. Sometimes we don't stay because something is good. We stay because it's familiar and because we see the potential in what it could be. But eventually, you gotta accept who somebody actually is and not who you keep hoping they gonna become. Like, if they telling your ass like, bitch, this is who I am, like, believe them, motherfucker. Believe them. Believe them. Maya Angelou had a point. Believe them. But because familiarity and potential don't mean nothing if nothing ever changes. So that's it for today, y'all. Until next time, stay cute, stay petty, and be safe out there. Bye.